love you.
I love you too.
Period. Let it be known.
Say it again.
Because the love I have for you is not going to take advantage of you. The love I have for you always kept me quiet in your presence. Always. The love I have for you got mad when you got upset. See, you didn't know these things, did you? Not at all. You know why? Because I always stuck to myself. The love I have for you is not, damn, she looked good. It was, look at my friend conquering the world that God gave her. Yeah. That's what I always felt around you. And more importantly, the slogan on your shirts personify you. Black women are dope. Mm-hmm. How did you pattern that to be the moniker in which you wanted to let your name be known fashion-wise?
Somebody said to me, I didn't know you were so woke. You know, I actually, they said, you know, how do you date somebody like that, that's so woke like that, you know? But if anybody knows anything about me, I am the type of person that no matter what kind of day I'm going through or how I'm feeling at the moment, I always want to uplift and encourage not the man, but the black man, because he is often torn down and often, you know, ridiculed and often beat up, and they're killing us at alarming rates. And if I could speak any ounce of positivity into some man's life, whether it be whatever they're going through, whatever situation they're facing, whatever challenge they're coming up against, if I could speak any positive information into their life and they take it and they apply it to their everyday routine, then I've won. If I could speak any ounce of positive information into a sister's life and they take it and they apply it, then I've won. I'm not looking to get anything from it. It's just who I am. You know, I try to see the good in a situation, even though it might be a bad situation. Sometimes you have to try to see the good in a situation. You know, when people break up in relationships, I had a conversation today with a friend of mine. When people break up in relationships, they always say, well, he did that and he did that, or she did this and she did that. But both of you played a part in that ending. In that relationship going south or whatever, both of you played a part. In that friendship ending or going south, both of you played. In that business relationship ending, both of you played a part, because although you may have not been the one in that personal relationship that cheated, what did you do to allow that to continue? How did you allow it to continuously happen? You know, so every person plays a part in the ending of something, even if you weren't the one that started it.
That's a fact. And we have to play the part in the ending of the negativity that is around us. Mm-hmm. We recently lost Nipsey Hussle, which is a crime upon this generation. I mean, everybody talks about Biggie and Pac dying.
Right.
But I don't think Nipsey Hussle's death is on that level. I think it's a little different. Mm. And the reason why I say it's a little different is because
it's a lot different.
Nipsey Hussle was more socially relevant,
right,
than I think Biggie and Pac were. I think Big was an entertainer. Mm-hmm. Pac was an entertainer with a relevant ideology. Mm-hmm. Nipsey is a person who, whether you were into his music or not, he was into entrepreneurship and ownership, which is, like I said, Donald Trump America. If you don't do it yourself, you're not going to get it.
I didn't even know Nipsey Hussle for his music. When I first heard of Nipsey Hussle, it wasn't for his music. It had nothing to do with it. I didn't even listen to his music. It was how he was so ingrained in buying the blocks that he hustled from. You know, I don't even know this man, and he affected me. He affected everybody in such a way that his death was like, you know, it was tragic for everybody. When you see clips of you know, they're showing clips of everything. They're showing clips of this, showing clips of that. But there was this one particular clip that I looked at today where, you know, everybody has a cleanup guy that comes around. You know, if you own a beauty salon or you own a store, everybody has, you know, Joe Blow who comes in, you know, he'll do the laundry for the store, whatever. Go buy you some cigarettes, whatever. Everybody has one of those. And this particular man, he was in that community, and he would like clean up around the area. Nipsey was in the back seat, and he said, "Hey, good morning, blah blah blah." And the guy said, "Hey, good morning." He said, "You know what you doing?" And he said, "I'm just straightening up. I'm straightening up." He said, "Come on, come with me." He put him in the car with him. He said, "Yeah." Got in the car with him, took him to the barbershop, got him a fresh cut, cleaned him up. They don't make men like that anymore. Men that genuinely have a respect for his elder, because the guy was definitely older than him. These young men out here now, they don't have no respect for their elders. You know, it's sad. And this young guy, you know, mental illness is another thing. You know, if you're going through something, you don't have to be ashamed of it. Go seek some help. We all go through stuff. A lot of people in the African American community, in the black and brown community, shy away from mental illness and going to speak to somebody, going to lay on somebody's couch. It's not a bad thing. You know, it can help you in some ways. It can help you define how, you know, you moved when you was 12 years old and why you move like this at 40. You know, it's unpacking trauma, and it's unpacking hurt and pain that you've endured when you were younger, and getting to the root of the problem of why you act this way now. And it could be a good thing.
And isn't that one of the gifts that women, especially women of color, have endured forever? I once saw quoted on Blackish, on a grandma, Marla Gibbs, still alive today. And Marla Gibbs said the best thing she could ever do for her man was to make him a plate. Because she knew when he went into the world, he was a nigger, he was nothing, he was disgusting, racism, Jim Crow, lynchings, everything faced him outside the door. But when he came home, she always wanted to make him a plate to let him know he was home.
Right.
And women have carried, I say women are black, especially women, I don't say it's black, women of color, have, they have a debt that has to be paid 30-fold to me. I think this country's built on the woman, not on the man. I think the men have protected the women to a point, but the women keep producing these young men to get killed. And that's a pain that's, you can't even define. You know what I'm saying? Even like on Mother's Day, I talk to all the mothers who, I always put a post up, like, everybody's remembering their mom today. Let's remember the moms who lost their sons or daughters. Right. Because that pain is undefinable. And this may sound negative, but I mean it in a positive way. I think black women are dope for that. That women of color have endured so much, but they keep striving for perfection. Right. Or they strive for the act of living. I don't say I'm out here trying to survive, because when you try to survive, that means there's a power over you trying to kill you. Right. I say I'm trying to live. I'm just going to live. And women have been surviving to the point where now they're living. Right. That's what makes them dope to me. How do you define that dopeness in your own terms?
I think, for me, how do I define how I'm dope?
Why not?
I'm dope because I don't agree to the norm.
What is the norm?
Just like we spoke about earlier. a lot of these women, it's about how many likes you get, how many people following you, you know, who's looking at you, you know, who's trying to, you know, be like you. I don't want anyone to be like me. I want people to be better than me. But I want to affect change in such a way that when they look at me, they say, "Oh yeah, I want to follow how, you know, I want to follow in her footsteps. I want to do what she's doing." Because what she's doing is something positive. And I try to live my way like that. I always say this: when you have a brand, you're your brand every day. Every single day you're your brand. Everything that you post, everything that you put into you, everything that you take out of you, you're your brand. So you have to represent and respect your brand accordingly. And it's very important, because at the end of the day, when you do something that you don't think about your brand, and you just doing it off of, you know, willy-nilly, just going crazy, that after effect can be detrimental to you, and it can be detrimental to your brand. My mother always told me this: never date a person that don't have as much to lose as you do.
Jules.
Never get involved with a person that don't have as much to lose as you do. That's very important. Because guess what? At the end of the day, they ain't got nothing to lose. They gonna get you for all you got.
That's deep. And that goes back to the original point that I said. Sorry to cover my mouth. The original point is the defining of a race is characterized by its woman. It's quoted by Mary McLeod Bethune. And the woman is dope because she carries the banner. She's the flag bearer, while the man is the staff bearer. He may lead, but the woman protects and secures. I mean, we talked about so much this interview. I'm kind of going blank right now. This is the first for me. We're kind of going blank because it's like, this is like a homecoming. It's like a big talk that is well needed.
Right.
Because
right.
Heritage Hip Hop, I've always said I need a woman on Heritage Hip Hop because, number one, I love women. Two, a man is made better by a strong woman's presence. You know what I'm saying? And three, we look at life in black and whites. Sometimes ladies can see the gray, and it kind of, that doesn't soften you. It heightens your mind. Right. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, like, I thank you for this interview. We ain't done yet by far though. But I thank you for this because
I thank you. I thank you for having me. I thank you for Heritage Hip Hop, because a lot of people today are so, you bring Heritage Hip Hop together to make people aware that it's not just hip hop. It's not about, you know, what's going on in this century, but it's what came from the 80s, the 70s, and how it ties into today. And I think that is so relevant and very important that we talk about the old greats and talk about how they formed hip hop to the people that, you know, imitate that these young boys, young women, they pull something from, it's like a cycle. It's like a cycle. It's a cycle. So they pull a piece of something from every single rap, from Queen Latifah, from MC Lyte, from everybody, you know? And I like how you tie it in, and it's just not hip hop. It's the heritage of us. It's the heritage of black people. It's the heritage of life. you know, within itself. It all ties into to one thing.
Yes, it does, and that goes with ownership. Because I mean, a lot of people think when they see heritage hip hop, all we're into is music, which is not true.
Right.
We also teach people how to have LLCs and be owners.
Right.
Clean up your credit. Didn't Jay-Z say that?
Right.
How the Jews took over the hood credit.
Right.
And that's why interviewing you was so relevant, because people have the idea of things, but they really don't know. Me and my partner talk all the time. I hope people don't hate me for this. If you do, I don't really care. But I'm very opinionated, especially when it comes to faith. And there's a certain group of people that walk through the hood, and their religion is so racist that us even allowing them to walk through our neighborhoods disgusts me.
Who is that?
We're gonna talk about that off camera.
Oh, okay.
But it disgusts me. And when I look at my job, I look at the curriculum that we have. We're teaching that slavery was a choice. Thank you, Kanye West. Slavery was a choice, and that the indigenous Niji people, my ancestors on this planet, in this country, said, "Oh, the white man's here, but we'll decide to go out west, so y'all can have the East Coast." I find that as a bastardization of the truth.
Right.
I also find it a bastardization of the truth when people of color, especially women, have given so much to be slighted a thank you, at least. Feminists use black women to raise their platform and then shit on them at the end. We have the fashion industry teach people that women are not necessary. We just use them to sell clothes. And we don't even sell the clothes that they wear.
Right.
I had a female on here, a great MC. You ever heard of Venomous? She talked about how people have offered to remove ribs from her for her to be more sexy for the hip hop game. And I was disgusted. Highly disgusted. And then I look at how the world is changing, and we have Black Panther coming out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
With Shuri now has a cartoon.
Right.
Great.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I now see Miss Marvel is the Indian American young girl from Jersey City.
Right.
We have Barikana, the Latin American female superwoman. You know what I'm saying? So comic books are jumping on it. Even though Marvel Comics, I might quote this, is saying that we're getting to a time when being a black and a gay is normal. These are the people that run our society that say this. So when I see things like black women are dope, it has to be elevated because yes, women of color are dope.